Good morning students, this is class 12th maths, lecture 1st of chapter 7th. We will again discuss the topic of integration. So see, what is integration? The process of finding the integral of a function is known as integration. The process of finding the integral is known as integration. This complete is known as the integral of fx with respect to x. This complete is known as the integral of fx with respect to x, where this sign is the sign of integration. Fx is the integrand. Fx is basically that function which you are integrating and it is known as integrand, and x is the variable of integration. You are integrating this fx with respect to x, so x is the variable of integration, right? Now see, integration is nothing but the inverse process of differentiation, and that is why it is also known as anti-differentiation. See, understand this with an example. If suppose function sin x is given to you, then you know the derivative of sin x is cos x, right? Now say if now function cos x is given to you, then integral of cos x will be sin x, because integration is just the inverse of differentiation. After differentiating sin x, you got cos x. Therefore, after integrating cos x, you will get sin x, because integration is anti-differentiation. So basically, after integrating cos x, you will get such function whose derivative is cos x. So derivative of sin x is cos x. Therefore, integral of cos x is sin x. Now see one more function, x square. So derivative of x square is 2x. Therefore, integral of 2x will be x square. Clear? Now see, derivative of x square is 2x. Derivative of x square plus 100 is also 2x, because derivative of x square is 2x and derivative of 100, which is a constant, is 0. Similarly, derivative of x square minus 1000 is also 2x, right? So these are different functions, but their derivatives are same. That is why when we integrate 2x with respect to x, we cannot write x square, because it can either be x square, it can either be x square plus some constant or minus some constant, right? That is why we write integral of 2x is equal to x square plus c, where the c is the constant of integration. Now see, at different values of c, you will get different functions, right? And this is why we say that an indefinite integral includes the family of all of its antiderivatives. Now antiderivative or the integral of 2x is x square plus c. At different values of c, you will get different functions, and therefore integral of 2x includes all the family of its antiderivatives or all the families of its integrals. Now see, suppose if the function x is given to you, now the derivative of x is 1, therefore integral of 1 will be x plus c. Now derivative of 10x is secant square x, therefore integral of secant square x will be 10x plus c. Why 10x? Because derivative of 10x is secant square x, right? Now derivative of sin inverse x, you know, is 1 upon root 1 minus x square. Therefore integral of 1 upon root 1 minus x square with respect to x will be sin inverse x plus c. Clear? Now these are some properties of integration. So the first property is that the integral of derivative of fx is equal to fx plus c. See, we have taken the derivative of fx, then the integral of derivative of fx, then it will be fx plus c only. Let us understand this by an example. So let fx be as sin x. Now derivative of sin x will be cos x. So integral of derivative of sin x is equal to integral of cos x, and integral of cos x is sin x plus c. So we got this only, this result only, right? Also one more result is that integral of fx, derivative of integral of fx with respect to x is nothing but fx. So see this also. Now you know integral of sin x is minus cos x plus c. Why? Because derivative of minus cos x is sin x only. See here, derivative of minus cos x will be minus derivative of cos x. So minus derivative of cos x is minus sin x. So you got sin x, right? Therefore, integral of sin x is minus cos x plus c. Now derivative of this integral is derivative of minus cos x plus c. Now derivative of minus cos x is sin x, and derivative c is a constant, so derivative of c is 0, right? So this is what first property says. Now second property is that the integral of fx plus gx is equal to integral of fx plus integral of gx. Third property says integral of k into fx with respect to x is equal to k into integral of fx, where k is some constant. If k is some constant, then you can take out k from the integral, right? And combining these second and third property, we can get this property which says that integral of k1 f1x plus k2 f2x with respect to x is equal to k1 integral of f1x plus k2 integral of f2x, right? Where these k1 k2 are the constant, so you can take them out from the integral. And similarly you can generalize this fourth property for n also, that if the integral of k1 f1 plus k2 f2 and so on up to kn fn is equal to k1 into integral of f1 plus k2 into integral of f2 and so on kn up to integral of fn, right? Now you know this, that integral of x raised to the power n with respect to x is equal to x raised to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus c, where n should not be equal to minus 1, because at n equal to minus 1 this denominator will become 0. Now see why this is so, because derivative of this complete is x raised to the power n. So derivative of this will be 1 upon n plus 1 taken outside because it is constant. So derivative of x raised to the power n plus 1 is n plus 1 into x raised to the power n. Cancel out this n plus 1, you will get x raised to the power n. So because derivative of this function is x raised to the power n, therefore integral of x raised to the power n is this complete plus c, right? Now let us solve some of the integrals questions. First is x raised to the power 4 minus x raised to the power 3 by 2 with respect to x. So this can be written as integral of x raised to the power 4 minus integral of x raised to the power 3 by 2. Now you have to apply this above formula only. So integral of x raised to the power n is x raised to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 minus, similarly here x raised to the power n is 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 plus 1 upon 3 by 2 plus 1. So you will get x raised to the power 5 by 5 minus 2x raised to the power 5 by 2 upon 5 plus c. Clear? Now the second is integral of secant square x minus cos x plus 2 into e raised to the power x with respect to x. So first of all write down this integral as integral of secant square x minus integral of cos x plus 2 integral of e raised to the power x, right? Now see, derivative of 10x is secant square x. Therefore integral of secant square x is 10x minus derivative of sin x is cos x Therefore, integral of cos x will be sin x plus 2. Now, derivative of e raised to the power x is e raised to the power x only. Therefore, integral of e raised to the power x will be e raised to the power x plus c, the constant of integration. So, this is how we solve the integrals. Now, see, there are some more integrals where the angle of the integration gets multiplied with some constant. Here, the angle of the sine is multiplied with a. The angle is ax, right? Therefore, the integral of this will be minus cos ax upon a plus c. And you can check it, derivative of this will be sin ax. Let's do this now. Derivative of minus cos ax by a will be minus 1 by a is constant. So, taken outside into derivative of cos ax. Now, minus 1 by a as it is, you will apply chain rule in this. So, derivative of this cos ax will be minus sin ax. Now, you will solve the derivative of the angle. So, minus minus becomes plus 1 by a sin ax into derivative of ax will be a. So, cancel out this a, you will get sin ax. So, derivative of this function is sin ax. Therefore, integral of sin ax is minus cos ax upon a plus c. Similarly, integral of cos ax is equal to sin ax upon a plus c. You have to do it by yourself. Derivate this, then you will get cos ax only, right? Similarly, the integral of e raised to the power ax with respect to x is e raised to the power ax upon a plus c. Now, derivative of log x is 1. Therefore, integral of 1 by x is log of mod x plus c. Now, see some of the examples. Integral of sin 2x will be minus cos 2x upon 2 plus c. Integral of e raised to the power minus 4x will be e raised to the power minus 4x upon minus 4 plus c. So, today's homework is also the same as previous. You have to do the question 1 to 9 of exercise 7.1. Okay, thank you.